right, my friends, day 9. It's time to dig in. Okay, so we're going to cover the chapter Habit Mastery. This is page 101 if you were in the book. I do believe it's page 101. Let me find it. 101. Nope, I lied. It is page, well, I don't know. We're going to say it's page 101. Okay, so he talks about in here, you know, there's the whole train of thought that it takes 21 days to create a new habit, right? And so Hal Elrod says that it takes 30 days, and I kind of want to agree with him. So today we're going to break down the 3 different phases of creating a new habit, of mastering your new habit. And a habit can be good or a habit can be bad. And I think for most of us, we usually think of a habit having negative connotations, like you're trying to quit smoking or give up coffee or cursing or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to quit, right? But a habit can be something that's positive too, something that moves you forward towards your goals. So a couple things I wanted to cover in here. Okay, so I think one reason, and he talks about this in the book as well, is one reason that people don't have success and don't stick with their goals is because they don't fully understand the process. And so let's dig into the process so that you understand it. And so as you get resistance and as you start to not want to do the things you know you need to do to get you traction in your life, it's easier to bite those off and to just tackle them one day at a time. So instead of having like a huge goal, which goals are important, but sometimes you need to like baby bite size, break it down. So it's just one little piece, it's one meal at a time, it's one action at a time, it's one decision at a time, it's one self-talk mantra at a time, right? So in here, he talks about how the reason a lot of people have New Year's resolutions and they don't stick to it is because they don't have a system in place and they just don't understand the system. Okay, so according to Hal, there's 3 phases. Phase 1 is the unbearable phase, right? It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, you don't want to do it, it doesn't feel natural. There's so many excuses you have to not do it. And so it can feel super unbearable, he says. The first days might be kind of exciting, they might be kind of easy, but then, you know, day 4, day 5, and you're like, oh, I just want to sleep. But you have to choose. You get to choose. That's the amazing part of your life, is that you're not a victim. You are completely in charge of your decisions and your actions, and I want you to dig in and choose to get better with me, okay? So the problem for most people is they don't realize that this seemingly unbearable piece, this seemingly unbearable, what's the word I'm looking for? The seemingly unbearable phase is only temporary, right? It's just 10 days. So stop thinking about the way it feels and start telling yourself about how awesome it's going to be once it becomes part of who you are. So that's why he says in here that 95% of people, the mediocre majority, which you're not mediocre because you're still here on day 9, that's why they fail over and over. That's why they go back to their habits. That's why they stop going to the gym. That's why they stop working on their budget, right? Because it's uncomfortable and it's awkward and it's human nature for us to not want to do something that makes you uncomfortable. And part of the amazing thing about this and working on your personal development journey, for me, I've learned that when I'm really uncomfortable, I'm able to rephrase it in my head and be like, if I'm really uncomfortable, it's because I'm doing something that I need to do. Obviously, you have to listen to your gut. I'm not telling you to do foolish things. But if something just doesn't feel natural and it feels really forced, sometimes that's okay, because that's you stretching your boundaries. That's you removing your lid that you've put yourself in, this box, right? Seriously, we are the only people, like we are the ones that cage ourselves. Uncage yourself, my friends. Okay, so the first 10 days are challenging, but remind yourself that it's just temporary. It's pain with a purpose, right? It's just temporary, okay? And if you can totally beat the odds, I believe in you. Hal believes in you. We believe in you, right? Okay, so phase 2 are days 11 through 20, and these are the uncomfortable days, okay? So it's going to start getting easier. You're going to start getting a little bit used to your habit, but it's really easy to backslide in here, and so I want you to stay focused and to remind yourself of why this matters and why you're doing this. Why are you doing this? Do you have your why yet? Like, do you know who you want to become or why this matters? Because if you don't have that figured out, it's really easy to quit. So figure out why this matters. Figure out why you want to do this. Why are you getting better? So while days 11 to 20 are not unbearable, they're uncomfortable and they're going to require discipline and commitment. It's kind of like the whole motivation cop-out. I hear this all the time with my fitness coaching where people are like, I just need to get motivated. You guys, motivation is BS. Motivation is totally fleeting, and what you need to realize is it comes down to a decision, your decision to commit and to show up every single day even on the hard days, even if it's just a little, because some is better than none, right? And that action is going to get you momentum, and momentum is what matters more than motivation. Hashtag word. Okay, so you just have to stay committed. Stay committed, and if you can make it through that phase, well, then you're going to be unstoppable. So phase number 3 is the unstoppable phase. I love this phase. Days 21 to 30. So as you enter the final 10 days of your whole 30. Whoa, what's happening here? Wrong group. As you're entering the final phase of your first 30 days of your miracle morning, this is the home stretch. And so not very many people make it to this point. And when they do, they make the detrimental mistake where they're like, oh, it just took 21 days. I'm good to go. No, you're going to keep practicing, right? Because practice makes perfect. Not that we believe in perfection, but all those little compound efforts, they all add up and they make a big difference. So it does take 21 days, the first 2 phases, to form a habit. But the third 10-day phase is crucial to sustaining your new habit long term. And the final 10 days is where you positively reinforce and associate pleasure with your new habit. So be proud of yourself. We haven't gotten there because we're still in the process, but I want to encourage you, if you are feeling stuck and if this is feeling kind of unnatural and you're just like, I just would rather sleep, like whatever, you can make this fit your life because this is your journey. It's not my journey, it's your journey. So own it. Get your results, figure out how it fits your life. If that means you're going to do it before bedtime or maybe during nap time or whatever, I'm going to encourage you to at least go through some of these every single morning because it really will dictate how your day goes. And so many of us on the motherhood hamster wheel, we're just reacting, right? We're reacting. We've got our to-do list. It's like you'll never catch up. So you have to decide that you matter enough to put yourself on that priority list and fill your own cup and just set your intention for the day. It makes such a difference. I can't tell you how much of a difference this has made in my life in the days where I'm like, oh, I'm really busy, I'm just gonna skip it. I can tell because my thoughts get off track, I get derailed, I usually wind up comparing myself a lot more, like I'm shooting all over the place and I'm just feeling kind of bad about myself. So if you have derailed, that's okay. Congratulations, you're human. I want you to get back on track and just refocus and start implementing. Make it work for you. Do a minute or 2 of each of these steps every single day and add some alarms into your phone. That helps me. My husband drives him crazy. I have like 500 alarms on my phone, but it really does help me stay on track and stay focused and just remind myself of my truths. Those like positive words, my truth words, going off twice a day, the last few days have been really, really rough. Like really rough. First world problems, totally. Like nothing terrible or life-shattering, but just I've been discouraged. I've been discouraged and I've been feeling run down because I haven't been taking the time to do my miracle morning like I should, and I can tell. And I have no one to blame but myself. So if you're not happy in your life, if you're not feeling fulfilled and excited and grateful and blessed, if even no matter what your heart is, if you're not celebrating your wins and your successes, that's on you. So choose your level 10 self. Choose to step into that person you want to become. And sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. We all do that from time to time. Okay. So in here he talks about, he gives his whole marathon story. If you have the book, you can read it. I'm not going to talk about his marathon story because it's his story to tell. But I loved a few things in here. I made a couple notes about how this is a gift of freedom. This whole process, this self-discovery, this taking time to fill your cup, this investing in yourself and re-meeting who you are. You, my friend, have a purpose and you are here to like rock your life. It's not just to like trudge through and feel all beat down and like lose sight of yourself. That happens to us. I think that happens to the majority of us, especially if you are a mom. You're so used to filling other people's cups and sacrificing and all those murder words. But somewhere along the way, you have to re-meet yourself and you have a purpose. So take some time to fill your cup and do the things you know that you need to do so that you can rock your life and you can feel like at the end of the day, I won my day. I might not have gotten caught up on my laundry. I might not have done this or that, but I took some time to fill myself with positivity and to remind myself of my capability and to just move forward, right? Fail forward, my friends. Okay, so he says in the book, he says, in this moment, I realized that this is a gift of freedom, not reserved for the chosen few, but one that is available to each and every one of us. The moment that we make the choice to take on a challenge that is outside of our comfort zone, forcing us to grow, to expand our capacity, to be and do more than we have been and done in the past. That's true freedom. You're free. You are free. Like, we live in one of the most amazing countries ever, and like, You have the choice to rock your freaking life. So don't fall short on that. Take an action every single day that moves you closer to that person you've always wanted to become. Stop. Like, I used to look at people and be like, I just want to be them. And then I realized I can be my own version of them. Why should I try and be them when I can freaking be me, the best version that is me? My English, jeez, you guys. Coffee, more coffee. Okay, so on the other side of the next 30 days is you. Becoming the person you need to be to create everything you've ever wanted for your life. So what's holding you back? Probably yourself. Probably yourself. Probably the discomfort and the hesitation to do something that just doesn't feel quite natural. But I want you to keep showing up, and I want you to keep just practicing and figure out, make this moldable to your life. Figure out how it fits, figure out what works for you, figure out what things you avoid, and then dig into that. Because everything that you avoid, it's because you're avoiding it. You're avoiding it because of discomfort. And the discomfort is a good thing. And we have to reframe that. Just like with exercise, right? People don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to be out of breath. They don't want to get sweaty, whatever. If you want to change your life, you have to take action. That's what it all comes down to. You have to take action. So I believe in all of you. I'm fist bumping you. I want to hear how it's going for you. What day are you on? Are you going to practice it this weekend? What piece is hard for you? What piece are you avoiding? Are you using your truth word alarms? I freaking love mine. Yesterday it went off, and every time it went off, I said bad words on my phone. I was like, oh. But then it reminds me, right? And that's what this whole experience is, this personal development journey. It's perspectivals, you guys. It's putting on a new perspective. It's choosing to see things differently. And 2.5, 3 years into my personal development journey, it's cool because something will happen, something crappy or whatever, because this stuff happens, and my flesh part will be like, like I'll sink into that, like just pissed off grumpiness, but then I can see the flip. I automatically flip it. It's become automatic because I've been working on my journey for so long, and I'm still a work in progress. Believe me, I don't have it figured out, but I can see the positive side. And so it's not just me dwelling in the negative. Now I understand the lesson, or I can start to kind of understand the lesson in whatever has happened to me, and it helps me with my perspectivals. It helps me put it in perspective and get back on track and just be focused on my end game, which is just to live my best life, to know that I have loved and I have lived and I have mattered and I've showed up every single day and I'm leaving a mark, because who wants to go through life and just be a ghost? Do you just want to sleepwalk through your life and be a ghost and not leave your mark? It's not enough to care for your humans. It's not enough to have a clean house. It's not enough to have a career. You need to be focusing on who you are at your core, because that matters. If you want to change the world, it starts on the inside of you, and how you love your people and how you model for those people what living your best, most amazing, most fulfilled, most impactful life looks like. So rock today. Drop it below if you're with me. I want to know. And then we'll dig in on Monday. So I hope you practice this weekend. I know I am going to as well. Today I got up at 5, which was kind of a shock because my husband's out of town, and so I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Usually if he's out of town, it's easy to oversleep. But I got up early and I started my day with intention. And hey, do you know what my tip is? So I'm a girly girl. I love painting my nails. I think it's from years at Starbucks and I couldn't paint my nails. I'm addicted to it. So I love to have painted nails, if you've been following me for a while, maybe you've noticed. But I really struggle with the meditation piece and the visualization piece, right? And those are pieces where it's really easy for my squirrel brain to start going, and I start thinking of things, and if I'm really honest with myself, I cheat myself out of it a lot. But I know, because it's so uncomfortable, that's the piece I need to lean into. So I've started painting my nails in the morning, right? So I'm filling my cup, and then I'm stuck. I am stuck. I've got to let them dry, otherwise I risk smudging them. So anyways, that's my first real tip for you. So if you have a tip for us, let us know. Make today and the rest of this weekend count, because you're the driver of your bus and your life is a gift, and you're all precious and amazing, and spectacular things await. So step into your power, step into your greatness. Your level 10 life is waiting.